You may have seen freedivers looking all graceful and effortless in the water with their big, long fins that are built for efficiency, so they're using less energy but still moving through the water. But are they any good for scuba diving? Hi, all of you awesome scuba divers out there. Welcome to the Scuba Diver Magazine channel, your favourite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. And welcome to Ask Mark, our scuba diving Q&A, where I'm Mark, a former dive instructor. Do my best to answer your scuba diving questions. So if you do have any scuba diving questions, by all means, pop them down in the comment section underneath this video. I use this Ask Mark hashtag to get it featured in an up and coming video. And in the meantime, I'll do my best to type out an answer so you do actually get an answer sooner rather than later. But in today's video, I'm going to be answering a question from 𝐸𝐵 all about freediving fins whilst scuba diving. So 𝐸𝐵 says many dive guides on liveaboards in the Maldives use freediving fins. What's your view on using them? So when scuba diving, we typically use fins more akin to this. This is a fairly short fin. We call this a vented, like a tech fin, and this is built for like all-purpose scuba diving, basically. Open heel. Spring heel strap is the modern standard, and a relatively short blade. Now, when you compare that to a freediving fin, much longer, and they're built for efficiency and what I typically think is like straight line speed and efficiency. The benefits are, yes, they are more efficient in the water. However, whilst scuba diving, because we're not just gunning it straight line speed, there are some downsides to them, especially for traveling divers. The first one being, they're big. Trying to pack that in a suitcase isn't easy. And granted, you can separate some designs. You can take this blade out and you're left with the rubber foot pocket, and then you just refit them when you're at the other end. I say just refit them. It's not an easy maneuver because this section is specifically designed to be rigid. It continues into the rubber for a fair amount of space, and you're trying to push something, these two things together, the rubber grips onto it. It's not an easy thing, especially when you're in like confined spaces like a dive boat. You've got the little clips as well. These just ping around, and that can be lost quite easily. You need a screwdriver to remove that plate, and whilst other designs may vary and might be a bit easier, it's not the easiest thing. And still, you've got to pack something that size and slightly angled in your bag twice, because you've got 2 feet. So that's something worth considering. Another benefit is no one ever mixes up your fins and picks your fins up on the rack, because no one else has this huge pair. I mean, if everyone started, then yeah, everybody would, and we'd have to start like naming our fins. However, yeah, on the boats where I've used freediving fins for scuba diving, yeah, it was quite good as a dive guide, because you're very identifiable in the water. The guy or the girl with the really long fins, that's the person I need to be following. And now they do come in some pretty funky designs as well, which is quite cool. So yeah, you can really stand out in the water. That's why a lot of dive guides quite like them, and because they're not having to pack them up like once or twice a week, then yeah, it is quite beneficial for them. Somewhere like the Maldives, they're a good idea as well, because it's nice tropical warm water, and most freediving fins are full foot fins. So you're going to be wearing them barefoot. You can wear them with socks, obviously. A lot of them are sized up a little bit as well, so that you can wear a pair of neoprene socks underneath, or like inside. So you do have to kind of like weigh that up whether you're bringing socks, so that you can dive like longer, or if you're finding diving water temperatures barefoot, then yeah, you have that option. One thing with freediving fins is they come in a fair variety. So I would recommend, if you are going to use freediving fins for scuba diving, to use a polymer or plastic blade, because they're pretty tough, they're pretty bulletproof. So if you smack them on something, they're not going to shatter. You can get like carbon fiber free diving fins, which, because they got that carbon fiber weave, if you're and it's a real downside with free diving fins, especially in confined spaces, you've probably smacked someone in the face with your fins before, just using something this size. Imagine how many times you smack people in the face using something this big. Hitting something is not unusual, especially if you're like wreck diving, if you're doing wreck penetrations with free diving fins. Unless you're really good with your like fin control, you're probably going to tap something. And with like carbon fiber fins, they can be a bit fragile to that, and they're much more expensive, so you don't want to be damaging them like that. So a polymer blade I would definitely recommend. They typically come in 3 stiffnesses as well. You get soft, medium and stiff. Stiff fins are just as advertised. They're stiff. Your legs will ache after using them unless you dive a lot. Soft fins are very soft. They'll get you where you need to go, but you're losing some of that efficiency. If you're wearing them all day, fine. Whereas a medium stiffness is that Goldilocks. It's in the middle. You get a decent amount of efficiency, but it's not going to ruin your legs. But yeah, a lot of that efficiency is lost. And they're really a tool for freediving and, yes, straight line swimming. Well, you can obviously corner in them, you can turn around, but if you're diving in like guided groups, then yeah, they become quite cumbersome. It's not something that I would say never ever use freediving fins to go scuba diving. They're okay. It's just, it's not what they're best at. It's better if you do get a scuba diving fin. They're easier to pack. You can wear boots with them as well, so your feet are a bit more protected. They're better in confined spaces because you're less likely to slap someone around the face. There's a lot of benefits to scuba diving fins, and while yeah, apnea fins will do the job, it's not really what they're best for, especially for like a traveling holiday diver. Yeah, I've used freediving fins on liveaboards and like guiding dives in like the Caribbean and the Red Sea, and yeah, they're fine. It can be done. Traveling with them is a little bit harder, but as long as you have like the case for them and the need for them, if you do a lot of apnea and you're getting into scuba diving, then yeah, it's not the easiest to start with a pair of fins like this, but you could do some dives with them. I would recommend to stick to more of a standard scuba diving fin. That's why most divers use scuba fins compared to apnea fins. They do work, but they're better for what we need them for. But what do you guys think? Do you use apnea fins whilst scuba diving, and where do you use apnea fins whilst scuba diving? I once saw a guy wear full foot fins, not even apnea fins, they were just like snorkeling fins in, was that Portsmouth? Down on like the south coast of the UK, barefoot. Hats off to him. He was a roofer. He said he was fine. I was in a dry suit. But yeah, if you use apnea fins, let us know down in the comments below why you use them to go scuba diving, and we'll see. Anyway, that's it for this week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that good social media stuff. If you've got any questions, comments, queries, corrections, pop them down in the comments section. Use this @mark hashtag to get it featured in an up and coming video. Otherwise, thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.